Let's welcome our third candidate. Our third candidate is Prabhu Prasad Swain. Welcome, Prabhu.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good.
Great?
Yeah.
Okay, it's now or never, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
High time.
So your thesis is about multiparametric 3D tomography using AFM and SEM. It was done under the supervision of Professor Georg Fantner. When you're ready, you just say it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Curiosity drives mankind. When I was a child and I was curious, I would peek and look into things. That's what scientists do to the nanoscopic world. They peek and look into it using microscopes. But what springs to your mind when I say the word microscope? Probably a binocular type object where you see through and look into. However, we human beings also have other senses, like the sense of touch and feeling. And this is where my thesis starts. Hi, I am Prabhu and I build microscopes. Microscopes that can feel and touch the nanoscopic world. While you touch with a finger, I touch with an atomic needle. A needle billion times smaller than our fingertip, capable of sensing the forces in atoms. However, you don't want to go poking around without knowing where you are poking around, right? That's why I have integrated this atomic force microscope, AFM, inside a scanning electron microscope, which is SEM. Don't get scared. Electron microscopes are very similar to normal microscopes that you used in your school, except that electrons are tinier than the particles of light, allowing us to capture images at very high resolution. So, combining an AFM and an SEM together in a single microscopic platform, we can see and sense biological tissue at a very fine detail. But there is one more requirement when we are capturing a very high resolution image. That is, the object should be still. I achieve that by freezing the biological tissue, freezing them at temperatures 200 degrees lower than the freezing point of water, so that the structure is preserved in space and time. Then I can bring them to this microscopic platform where I can slice through them layer by layer, capturing the surface morphology with an AFM and the ultrastructural context with an SEM. Putting these two information together, I can create multiparametric three-dimensional tomography maps, which gives me the architecture of the biological tissue in very fine detail. We have used this to study the structure of the retina of our eye and how it ages. We can also use to study immunological response when we fight cancer or cholesterol deposition in blood vessels. With the advent of artificial intelligence, these data sets can be used for early detection and diagnosis of diseases for personalized medicine. So next time, please remember, seeing while touching is believing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Always on the gong.